Thank you for taking the time to view this video. It is mandatory in some way, shape, or form for families to get the information provided in the activity handbook. This video will not cover everything in the handbook, word for word, but the handbook in its entirety is available on the school website as well. A couple questions that are probably looming out there have to do with the two things that we've been dealing with for about 18 months, going on 2 years now. The first is COVID. At this time, the Minnesota State High School League has not given any further details or guidelines concerning COVID. So we will be waiting to hear from the State High School League, the CDC, and the Department of Health, and stay tuned for more information on that. The second question looming probably has to do with our buildings. I assure you there are lots of people working on our buildings every day, and we are hoping that things will be ready to go in September when school starts. In order to participate in any activities at BBE, families will need to sign off electronically that they have gone through this handbook and the Minnesota State High School League eligibility brochure. It is my understanding at this time that rules associated with sports, physicals, have returned to normal. This means any physical over 3 years old is not valid. I will attempt to explain that in a more clear way. Fall sports begin on Monday, August 16th. Any physical dated 2018 is either expired or will become expired on the date that you had the physical. Further, all 7th graders in activities will need a physical. All 10th graders that participated as 7th, 8th, and 9th graders will need a physical. And all 11th graders, due to the waiver last year, will need a physical. In addition, any student who is joining an activity for the first time will need a sports physical, regardless of their grade level. We will continue to do the impact testing this year, which provides a baseline for concussion injuries. As in the past, our school nurse, Jessie Halverson, will be in charge of this testing. She will contact coaches and schedule times for our athletes to do this testing. It is something that needs to happen every 2 years. Parents do not need to do anything with this. We will take care of it through the school. Heartland Orthopedics will continue to provide BBE with athletic training services. We have solidified a great relationship with them, and Thomas Boyk, who has served as the BBE team trainer for the majority of our events, will continue in that capacity. Thomas has traditionally visited our practices Mondays and Wednesdays. Please let coaches know if you need to see him for any reason. Concussion protocol. When a BBE athlete experiences a concussion, we will refer to our athletic trainer for assistance in getting through the protocol and returning to practice and competition. Regardless of what a family doctor might say, these protocols adopted by the Minnesota State High School League will need to be followed, and clearance will need to be given by the athletic trainer. Participation in activities at BBE is something that is a privilege and must be earned. There are several common misconceptions about participation. If I pay my activity fee and I show up, I will get to play. As I get older, I will advance to a higher level and get to play. Ultimately, playing time and team placement is subject to the coach's discretion. As a general rule, students that show up and work hard without absences from practice will get an opportunity to play at the junior high level. C-squad and junior varsity participants are not guaranteed playing time, and the focus does become more about winning. Varsity teams should be focused on competing to win. Individual sports such as tennis, wrestling, track, and golf allow for methods of playing off to determine lineups. But coaches still have the responsibility to do what they feel is best for the team rather than an individual. When questions or conflicts come up, please encourage your son or daughter to talk to the coach about their concerns. While they may not agree, that is what needs to happen. Following a conversation between coach and athlete, a parent may become involved, but I would want that athlete to also be involved as well. Please use common sense when approaching a coach to request a meeting. Small schools like BBE provide multiple opportunities for kids. I have been very vocal about the need for BBE to have more multiple sport activity students. Communication with coaches and advisors becomes even more important when a student chooses to be involved in multiple activities. When speaking about eligibility, there are a few things to keep in mind. You are not eligible to practice or compete until you have signed off on the Minnesota State High School League brochure, the BBE Activity Handbook. You have either paid your activity fee or made arrangements with the activity office for payment and have a valid sports physical on file. You need to be making academic progress toward graduation. You need to be in school with the exception of excused appointments, and a student needs to be in school by 11 a.m. to be eligible for practice or competition on any given day. If you are unsure what an excused absence is, please call the school. Academic dishonesty. This means cheating and does include plagiarism. Penalties outlined by the Minnesota State High School League will be used for these infractions. These violations will not carry over from school year to school year. Failure to make academic progress. For the sake of academic progress, the grading periods will be used. Mid-quarter of quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. End of quarter for grades for quarter 1 and 3. Semester grades for semester 1 and 2. One failing grade during one of these grading periods will result in a minimum of 7 days of ineligibility, or until the student is passing. Students will still be expected to attend practices during this 7-day period. Multiple failing grades will result in ineligibility from practice and competitions. Minnesota State High School League penalties are, first one, 2 weeks or 2 events, whichever is longer, 3 weeks or 6 events, whichever is longer, and the third penalty would be 4 weeks or 12 events, whichever is longer. Please note that a student must start a season on the first day and finish that season in order to fulfill a violation. Students serving a Minnesota State High School League violation or a BBE academic violation are not eligible for individual awards at the team, conference, section, or state level. Students with Minnesota State High School League violations in the current year or the previous year are not eligible to be a captain of a team. Multiple sport activity students need to make sure all their uniforms and equipment are handed in prior to starting the next season. BBE has no provision for medical insurance. This is the responsibility of the participant. BBE does provide an option for this coverage. There is a parental insurance waiver that must be signed in order to participate. Activity fees have not increased this year. There will be an activity fee assessed for each participant for each activity in which they participate. The fees are as follows. Senior high grades 10, 11, and 12 are $95 per activity. Junior high grades 7, 8, 9 are $75 per activity. The family maximum is $375 per year. River Lakes hockey fee is $650 per year. If there is a hardship case that exists, please check for information on fees with the activities director. Protection of personal property. Participants should keep their personal property locked at all times during practice and contests, including away contests. It is highly recommended that large amounts of money, expensive jewelry, etc., never be stored in the locker room, home or away. So getting back to what you need to do to make sure that your student is eligible for activities at BBE. All of our forms and fees are available on the school website. Go to bbejaguars.org. At the top bar, go to Activities, and down to Activities, go to Forms. You can navigate from the forms to get to everything that you need to be eligible for activities. So, am I ready? Let's review the eligibility requirements one more time. Forms filled out online. Fee paid. Sports physical on file in the activities office. Please do not wait to make these appointments. There will be a lot of athletes that will need a physical this year. Activities this fall start August 16th. The online presentation, which you're watching right now, and then a Google form with your electronic signature. Then you are ready for activities. We look forward to a great year at BBE. We are excited about our new buildings, our new weight room, which I'm currently standing in, and we are excited to compete at a high level with all our sports and our activities. Look forward to getting everybody back in school on September 7th. Thank you.